you for joining us for Couch and Court Issues. My name is Carla, and I'm a therapist. And here's Mark, my husband and family law attorney.
Hello. Today we're going to talk about children with special needs and disabilities.
We're both excited about being here and glad you joined us for Couch and Court Issues, where we talk about real-life problems that impact the family. Let our words be a blessing to all who listen. As a result of this show, listeners will gain an increased awareness of children with special needs, disabilities, and abilities. Together as a community, we can offer support, encouragement, and prayer.
On today's show, our aim is to share information and offer support to parents with special needs children and awareness to the community. All parents want the best for their children. We desire for our children to become healthy, productive, financially independent adults. As parents, we share similar dreams for our children. The reality is, 1 in every 33 babies in the United States are born with birth defects. Some have conditions that can be corrected with surgery or therapy. Others will have ongoing special needs throughout their lives.
1 in every 33 babies born with birth defects. Other parents may not be aware of any struggles their child have until he or she becomes school age and the child begins to struggle with schoolwork or related activities. Regardless of how much parents love their children, feelings of happiness, excitement, amazement, and joy often turns to shock, sadness, anger, bewilderment, or anxiety, whether previously diagnosed or not.
No, the task of a parent with a special needs child is to guide their child in the choices that offer quality of life in all areas: medical, educational, recreational, and employment. In addition, parents must plan for their child's future. Living arrangements, insurance, and long-term financial planning are needed.
I really agree. I agree with all those things. It's really healthy for parents to work through the pain and rediscover the joy. It's really important that they identify with the losses. Let's not begin this new experience with the elephant in the room. That means ignoring what just took place, ignoring that your child was born with a birth defect. Your baby is alive, and you are truly thankful. Still, there are losses. There's a loss in dreams, expectations, hopes, and wishes. Whether you say it or not, whether you verbalize it to anyone, there's still losses. And now there's a concern that those dreams are not to be met. There are intangible deaths. They are often hard to identify. It would be healthy, although very painful, like I said, to identify and verbalize the grief and loss. Also, allow yourself and your spouse to support they need to go through the stages of grief and loss. Also, the siblings and grandparents and everyone, allow them to have their process. There's 4 steps in grief and loss. And the first step is shock and denial. You're like not sure what happened. You don't want to believe something happened. Then it goes to anger. Why me? Other people blame God or blame other people. Then it goes with bargaining to God, making a bargain or a promise. If he only does this, then I'll do this. After that, some hope is lost. We call that depression. And finally, acceptance. Acceptance that this is my baby and I love him or her. The actual life of your child will help you deal with the losses because he or she will capture your heart and pull you into life, into healing and loving ways. At the same time, the business of being a parent of a special needs child will demand more of your time and energy, making it harder to take the personal time to grieve. The grief process may take up to 2 years, and that's just the initial grief process.
With that, you're going to have ongoing prayers, which are essential. Therapy, support beginning with communication will be essential to everyone's health, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Children with special needs are children with a variety of different disabilities, health and mental conditions that require special intervention, services, or support. I have a legal assistant, and she has a child with special needs. And sometimes she told me about her child in Special Olympics, and she even sometimes will bring the medals to work. And I could see in her eyes that love, that joy from the accomplishment of this child participating in Special Olympics. And that's what we as parents, we show to our special needs child, that love and that ongoing support. With that being said, what should a parent do if they think their child might have special needs?
Right. And we're talking about after the grief process has happened and after you've done much prayer, there's this level of acceptance. And I love what you were sharing about your assistant. She came to not only a level of acceptance, but love and joy. The first thing is to grieve the loss, and we talked about that. That process is real. Do not want to underrate it. The rate of divorce among parents with special needs are higher than at any other time. So it's really significant. First things first, get treatment. Get treatment for your child as early as possible. Special needs services through the school district can start as early as age 3, but you can get treatment as early as possible. Educate yourself about the disorder, the disability or the diagnosis of your child. Ask professionals as many questions as you need to get answers. Find doctors, therapists, psychiatrists, and teachers who understand and have experience with your child's special needs. They should be able to guide you towards the best intervention, the best treatment programs specifically for your child. Most importantly, connect with other parents of children who have the same special need. It can be very helpful to join a group of parents facing the same challenges as you. The information and support available from a group can reduce feelings of being alone or overwhelmed with dealing with your special needs child. And a lot of these parents been there, done that, already done the research, and they can guide you. There's also sometimes services for their siblings and other members of the family. Look to that. But we never want to diminish the power of the Bible. It's the best guide for offering encouragement. Mark, what does it say about special needs and the disabled?
1 Peter 3:8 says, "Finally, all of you, be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble." Wow. What advice would you give for parents when their child is diagnosed with a disability or other special need?
I like what you just read. Go to Scripture. 1 Peter 3:8. Find your own, because to have those scriptures in your heart, that when something happens or when you're feeling some pain or you need some encouragement, support, and if you could just recite those scriptures to yourself and feel God's presence, that can't be underrated. All parents, as we said before, want their children to grow up healthy and happy and are proud of their accomplishments and delights in watching them grow. Parents with disabilities and special needs are no exception. If your child has been diagnosed with a disability or a special need, we encourage parents to look for support. If you need a break or help with housework or childcare, communicate with your support systems. Let them know your needs. Accept assistance when offered.
Also, research groups and nonprofit agencies who offer support and assistance with the specific disability your child has. Contact in-home support services through the County Social Services Department. Your family may qualify for help. Also, remember to check with the Social Security Department or the regional center in your area for assistance.
Mark was just describing a way to extend your support system. I'm all for everything that's available to assist in making this a great life, a great transition, not only for your child, but for you and for everyone to do it. Use the child as a resource by empowering them. Love, support, and nurture your child. As children grow, they need opportunities to play and learn. Help your child find ways to do things independently or with the least assistance possible. Allow them to make mistakes and be creative. Involve them in making decisions which will build self-esteem and confidence. And help your child to become a self-assured and capable adult. Decision-making skills are important as a special need child gets older, so start early so your child can have a lot of practice in making decisions. So important and so empowering, not only for us, for the parents, but for the child and the siblings. With that being said, Mark, let's go financial. What type of financial and medical assistance may be available?
The Social Security Administration controls 2 separate disability programs: Social Security Disability Insurance and Supplemental Security Income. Social Security Disability Insurance is an adult disability program in which basic eligibility is at least partially based on employment income. Also, Supplemental Security Income, on the other hand, is based on financial need, and it is available to individuals of all ages. If you're a parent of a special needs child, you will need to apply for benefits through the Supplemental Security Income Program. Let's talk about special education services now.
That's very important because special education is specifically designed instruction for the uniqueness of your child's special needs. The law states that children with disabilities have a right to a free, appropriate public education. Children who are at least 3 years old and up to age 22 may be eligible for special education or related services.
Getting appropriate educational services for your child with special needs may require taking an active role. And Carla has said that repeatedly, and it's very important. A team of professionals from your child's local school district determines what services your child is eligible to receive. If you are told that your child is not eligible for services, you have the right to disagree with the results of the evaluation or the eligibility decision. Ask for an independent educational evaluation.
Advocacy is so important. Not hearing no, but hearing how can this happen? What it is I need to do can only be done through advocacy. Homeschooling is another great opportunity to get your needs met. If you do not feel that the environment is right for your child, and if at all possible for you to do it as a parent, homeschool is a great support system, and you don't have to do that alone. There's all kinds of different types of homeschool agencies and programs that you can do. Some are private and some are public. So you can actually homeschool your child, the public. And not only that, there's additional special ed services that your child is entitled to. You do not have to have them in a traditional school to receive those services. They could be in a private school, a Christian school, or homeschool, and they still are able to get those same services that are available. You just have to advocate, and knowledge is key. Mark, that being said, what rights do parents have in the special education of their children?
The law says that parents and children's rights include a parent can look at all your child's education records within 5 days of your request for an assessment. The parents alone have the right to consent to evaluation and services. The parent can be a part of any meeting about their child's evaluation, placement, or program. And finally, the parents have the right to obtain an independent evaluation if they disagree with the district finds in its evaluation.
And that's all talking about advocating for your child. If you have just joined us, we have been talking about special needs and the disabled. What can we do as a community to show support? My name is Carla Ambrose, and I'm a therapist, and here with my husband, Mark, who is a family law attorney. Couching Court Issues arose from our desire to talk about topics that impacts family from a therapist and a legal perspective. Focus on the Family has a good article on parenting a special needs child. In the article, it says, God also gives each child specific skills and talents because people are designed for his purpose as stated in Ephesians 2:10. The very thing they like to do and are good at doing were designed by God. Reassuring children of their distinctiveness helps them to see that it is okay to be different. Not only is it okay, it is okay. It is really okay. God intended for us to all be uniquely, differently designed. When we talk to our children that God created them for specific jobs, they can feel secure knowing that they are part of God's plan, just as we all are.
God does not create mistakes. Our children need to know they are on this earth because God wants them here. They are important and he loves them, and we love them.
Mark, how can we ensure that the needs of their siblings are met?
If you have a special needs child with siblings, you love your children equally, but you can't possibly provide for them in all the same way. Some children simply need more of your time, energy, and resources. Still, it's important to help your other children feel you love them as much as the ones who need you more. Remember, as much as possible, treat your special needs child like your other children.
That's very important. Be as fair as you can with discipline. Otherwise, your children will believe that special needs child gets away with everything. Don't underestimate the power of the sinful nature. Even special needs children may do something wrong and then act as if they couldn't help it. They may purposely get siblings into trouble and then laugh about it later. Refuse to make excuses for special needs children. This is so important, especially in their presence. They may rise to your expectations up to the limits of their abilities. If you allow excuses, their siblings who know more about the child's abilities than what the child allows you to see will feel you're unfair.
If the special needs child is your eldest and the second child has to take on the eldest child responsibilities, make sure to grant the second child some eldest child privileges as well. And also, if the special needs child is younger, allow your older children to have a childhood.
That's really important. Mark, as we talk about that, could you tell us more about some legal things we could do? Like, what is a special needs trust?
A special needs trust will permit your disabled child to receive money to be used for his or her care and enhancement, which will not jeopardize their eligibility for certain public assistance benefits, such as supplemental security income, Medi-Cal, vocational rehabilitation, and subsidized housing. If you want someone other than yourself or family member to manage the special needs trust, a pool trust may be something to consider.
And those are all important resources. Remember, the more we do for our children, for others, can take a lot away from us. So it's really important to find out things that can assist you in carrying out the tasks that need to be done. So that's really important. The beauty of a special needs trust is that they address the specific needs of the disabled person, whereas other types of trusts do not. Even if a family is not interested in government benefits, they should still consider a special needs trust to address those specific issues. Also, you never know what the future holds. There is no sense in sacrificing government services that could be beneficial to your disabled loved one in the future. I'd just like to thank you for joining us for this. And remember, prayer is so powerful. Pray for what you would like. Pray for everything. And with that, communicate. Communicate to the loved ones in your life with the resources that's available. Don't listen to no. Listen to how can we make this work? And just be honest about your feelings. Thank you again for joining us for Couch and Court Issues with family law attorney Mark Ambrose and myself, Carla, his wife and therapist.
We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Couch and Court Issues, A Christian Perspective. The information provided by Carla and Mark is not intended to establish a therapist-client or attorney-client relationship. If you have any questions regarding you or your family's legal interests, please call attorney Mark Ambrose at 916-492-9170. This program is sponsored by the law offices of Mark Ambrose.